Exercise 5, Definitions. The following are specialized terms used within this course and the MEP fabrication industry. Prefabrication. This is the process of detailing and preparing data that enables machines and workers to cut, fold, and assemble items. Fabrication. This is the process of actually cutting and assembling the items. Within the MEP industry, the terms prefabrication and fabrication are often used interchangeably, but they generally refer to the entire fabrication process of detailing, cutting, and assembling modular components of piping, plumbing, electrical, and ductwork. Item. Within the Autodesk Fabrication software, items are highly accurate graphical objects with detailed non-graphical data. They're similar in concept to AutoCAD blocks or Revit families with parametric dimensions. Items are central to the creation of detailed models in the software. Example of items would be a single piece of straight duct or a valve. Each item contains information for costing and fabrication. Items may also be called parts, objects, or content. ITM. Items are saved as ITM files. ITM files are used by Fabrication CADmep, estmep, and CamDuct. CamDuct. Elements. This term can refer to items or AutoCAD objects, but it usually refers to individual Revit objects. Pattern. All items are created from source shapes called patterns. Patterns are hard-coded into the software. Only Autodesk can add new patterns, but the library of available patterns is extensive. Each pattern is identified by a unique pattern number that cannot be changed. CID. The custom identification number is set by default to the pattern number but can be changed by the user. The CID number can be found for each item by using the Fabrication CADmep Properties command. The source pattern number is displayed to the right of the CID. Database. As it pertains to the Autodesk Fabrication products, the database is a folder structure containing files that define configuration settings, i.e. materials, connectors, seams, specs, etc. It is not a single file such as an SQL database. Configuration. A fabrication configuration consists of the supporting resources for the Autodesk Fabrication products. Configurations include the items along with their associated button or icon graphics, software settings, service specifications, reports, plot configurations, drawing templates, and blocks. Configuration Pack. These contain some or all of a configuration. A configuration pack could include everything necessary to effectively work in metric or imperial standards. Or it could add certain specific components such as reports or items to an existing configuration. Autodesk and third-party vendors utilize configuration packs to deliver additional catalogs or libraries of items, reports, and other resources. Content Pack. Similar to a configuration pack, a content pack generally includes only items. Content. This usually refers to items or ITM files. Services. Within the Autodesk Fabrication products, services are definitions and specifications of associated items that have a common use within the building design. Services are comparable to systems within Autodesk Revit. Examples would include a cold water supply service and a supply air service. The service specification dictates how items are placed in the model, how they connect to each other, the materials used, acceptable sizes, and more. Takeoff. Within the building industry, takeoff is the process of creating a cost estimate. Within the Autodesk Fabrication products, it is the process of creating a fabrication intent model for the purpose of creating an accurate cost estimate or exporting information for computer-aided manufacturing. Takeoff can also refer to the process of inserting or placing an item into the model. Place. Inserting an item into the model is also called placing the item. Straights. This is an industry slang term for a piece of straight duct. bend, elbow, L. Interchangeable terms for a duct or pipe fitting that changes directions. In the building industry, a bend is typically a rectangular duct, whereas an elbow or L is usually a round duct or pipe. Gored elbow, a segmented duct elbow or bend. Elbows larger than 10 or 12 inches in diameter are usually gored, whereas smaller elbows are typically fabricated from pressed sheet metal. A pressed metal elbow is shown on the left, and a gored elbow is seen on the right. Fittings. These are typically connectors such as T's, elbows, and bends used to connect straight pieces of pipe or ductwork. CNC equipment. Computer numerical control equipment is automatically controlled by a computer program such as CADmep. Coil line, a category of metal forming equipment that transforms coiled sheet metal into nearly complete metal ductwork. The most sophisticated models uncoil the sheet metal, cut to size, notch and punch, apply insulation, and bend to shape. Coil lines only fabricate straight shapes using the full width of the sheet. Smaller parts and bends are cut on plasma tables. Plasma table, burn table, or table. These terms all refer to a CNC machine that cuts metal with a plasma torch. CADmep can be used to control or manage one or more plasma tables. It's used to create parts for fabricating sheet metal shapes such as ductwork. Plan and spec. This industry slang term refers to creating fabrication intent models from design intent drawings or models created by an MEP consulting engineer. It refers to the traditional design bid build process. Spool, spool drawing, spooling. A spool is an assembly of parts such as ducts or pipes that form a larger assembly. A duct spool or pipe spool is a type of modular construction. A spool drawing is usually an isometric detail drawing that shows how the spool is to be fabricated and assembled. The process of creating a spool drawing is called spooling. Status. Within the Autodesk Fabrication products, each item and spool has a status attribute. These values indicate the progress of the item or spool through the design, fabrication, and installation process. The status of each item can be seen by using the CADmep properties command. When an item is inserted or placed into the model, it defaults to a status of 0 design. This default value can be changed in the software settings. The status of each item or spool can be updated as the design proceeds. Model, drawing, and job. Within the context of the Autodesk Fabrication products, model, drawing, and job are synonymous, although drawings typically refer to the 2D views or paper space layouts, and model or job refer to the 3D fabrication intent model in model space. Dry side versus wet side. These are industry slang terms for ductwork versus piping and plumbing. Nesting. This is the process of arranging patterns to be cut from a piece of sheet metal for maximum efficiency and minimal scrap waste. Pittsburgh seam and snaplock seam. These are types of sheet metal seams where the metal folds over itself to create a strong and permanent connection. WG or water gauge. This is a unit of static pressure measurement typically used to determine the required thickness for sheet metal ductwork. Additional terms are defined within the software help file.